Hi, my name is Raymond Stapleton with DragonBlogger.com, and I'm about to bring you another exciting product review. Stay tuned. Okay, folks, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about a Bluetooth keyboard from a company called Perixx. Now, I've had the privilege of using them before and reviewing for them before on another product, and I got to tell you that this is a company that really puts together a great product. What we're going to do today is review this beautiful, shiny metal box. Not really. What we're going to do is actually talk about a keyboard that's hidden inside this nice, shiny metal box. And what's nice about this keyboard is that it is small. You notice that I'm holding it pretty well, almost completely in the palm of my hand. What I like about that is that it means that I can take it with me. You also notice it's not very thick whatsoever. Not much thicker at all than a ballpoint pen. On the sides, and it may be a little difficult to see, are all the controls. We have our USB charger, we have several lights, and we have an on-off switch. Now, I've already turned this one on, and when you turn it on, you won't really notice anything until you go to get ready to pair it for the very first time. Once you get ready to pair it, then a light blinks on and off very brightly and lets you know that you are ready to pair. Now, this keyboard does flex and fold, and when you close it, it has a magnetic seal that is keeping it closed. But to open it, it honestly doesn't have anything to prevent it from flopping back and forth, except that right here at the top is a little switch, or a lever if you will, that when you slide it over will then help keep the keyboard in place. It looks to me, when I try to do this while it's open, that this is a plastic coated, perhaps, piece of metal in there, but I cannot swear that it's metal at this point. Now I'm going to place this on my desk, and I'm going to switch our view to my lovely Android tablet. And I'm going to tell you that I've already paired this with my tablet. And I want to point out that it has all of the normal keys that you would expect to find on a keyboard. One thing that I noticed and I had a question about was over here under the Alt keys, the word Option is there. And then there's the word Control. These are not PC functions or Android functions. These are Macintosh functions. So this keyboard is compatible not only with the PC and Android world, but also with the Macintosh world at the same time. Now I noticed I just pushed a button and it went ahead and turned on my display on my Android because, as I said, I've already paired these two together. What I'm going to do is open it up and I'm going to show you that it actually works. Now, I'll just leave that there, go for a blank document, and I'm going to say and I can't spell right now, and I'm obviously hitting this is me typing with a Bluetooth keyboard. This keyboard functions very well the key presses on it have that little slight bounce to it that I would expect from a nice keyboard like I've got on my desktop keyboard. There are function keys along the top row. There are also keys here, such as the audio keys to turn your volume up and down. But if you're not using the function button, then when you do them, they will not utilize the right settings. If I were listening to music, I've got the next and the back button. I also have buttons to take me to the home screen. I have several other buttons that will do a number of other things, all of which are explained in the user manual that comes along with this product. Most products that I have reviewed come with a very wimpy, if even that good a quality, user manual that at best is very boring and at best hard to read, and at worst obviously totally useless. But this particular product comes with an excellent manual, which I think you will really enjoy. Now, it does have two buttons, which right now for my product, for my Android, for my tablet, does not appear to actually do anything for me. And that is the brightness up and brightness down. I have tried them, but you can see that it's not changing the brightness of my screen whatsoever. That is not a fault of the keyboard. That is just the way it interacts with my Android right now, and that particular function is not accessible to the Android. Okay? Now, if I were to be in, let's say, this mode, and I press one of these keys, obviously it did something there, but it wasn't what I was trying to show you. It can take me home. That's the function of that key. If I am here and I use my arrow keys over here on the side, you can see that it scrolls through the icons sort of like you would expect if you were using a mouse, or that same function on a keyboard for your computer. The function keys up at the top will function just like the function keys for any other device. Now, function keys on an Android pretty much are non-existent. They don't work, as far as I know anyway. I haven't run across it. There are also several ID buttons. I will admit that at this point in time, I did not think of looking and asking what those are. It might actually tell me in the user manual, but I haven't even looked it up, and I apologize for that. But they are there. They may be something that are particular to Macintosh. I don't know, since I am not a Macintosh guy. The only thing about this keyboard that kind of gets me a little bit is that, as you can see, there still is a little bit of flexibility. So if I'm holding this and I'm not really on a secure surface, it will wobble around a little bit. Also, it's a little bit to wrap my head around the idea that there are two space bars. But then again, I'm not a two-handed typist. At best, I'm a hunt and peck. Although there are occasions when I amaze myself and I type with two hands also. I took the time to type in a document that I spent several hours working on. Again, I'm not real fast at typing, and I was thinking about what I was going to say while I was typing it, and I used this keyboard without any problems whatsoever. One of the neat features, of course, that goes into the fact that you can charge it is that this will retain a charge and be useful for up to, they said, 40 days if used 2 hours a day on average. Which, if I understand that right, then one charging of the battery could give me up to 80 hours worth of use. They need to make batteries for Androids. I don't know why, other than the fact that this is not a high power consumption type of item, but I don't know why batteries can't last longer on all of our devices. But this, my friends, may not be something you would be thinking about all the time, but let's take another look real quick at something. And I'm going to sit right back down here. I apologize for the movement around. This is my real estate. This is what I have to work with when I'm working. If my keyboard is off, this keyboard is off, then about half of my screen is taken up with an on-screen keyboard. With this turned on, see, that would be, if this was on screen, this is what I get to see. I bought a 10.1-inch tablet so that I could use 10.1 inches of screen. If I have to have most of my text and most of my screen covered up by an on-screen keyboard, I'm getting a 3-inch tablet that's just a little bit longer than it is tall. But with this keyboard, I can lay it flat on the desk, which is how I normally type anyway, instead of having to type up here, which means I'm having to scrunch my shoulders up, put my hands into awkward positions, or I have to pick up the tablet and hold it while I type, which means I'm going to have to type one-handed. Or I can simply get one of these if I'm a good typist, which, as I've already told you, I'm not. But I can type with two hands, leaving my screen to do what my screen needs to do, and this holding my hands here as opposed to twisting them up and trying to hold them in an unnatural position, or having to hold the keyboard or the screen in one hand while I type on it, risking the possibility of dropping my tablet. I think I'll settle for this any day of the week. I highly recommend this keyboard. I have not used a whole lot of other keyboards that are Bluetooth or otherwise, exception of one. I did get to use one keyboard many moons ago, and it was a Bluetooth keyboard, but it was about that big, which didn't give me too much more room for my fingers to work. And I had to hold it in my hand because it was so small that it really wasn't practical to try to two-handed type on the desk. I ended up giving it away. This will tuck in to my tablet case that I have for carrying with me when I go out someplace, along with my Android tablet, along with another 10-inch tablet that I normally take, along with some of the other stuff. But this will tuck in just nicely out of the way, just waiting for me to pick it up, open it up, and put it to use. For DragonBlogger.com, this is Raymond Stapleton, wishing you a wonderful evening and an even better tomorrow. Good night, folks.